pressure, 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 pressure. Now fly, 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 fly. It's time, yes, it's time for ready to paramotor live. Ready to paramotor live. Power. Power, power. Pressure, 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 pressure. Now fly, 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 fly. It's time, yes, it's time for ready to paramotor live. Ready to paramotor live. Ready to paramotor live. Ready, 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 ready to paramotor live.
What is up? Welcome back to Ready to Paramotor Live. This is David. I'm sorry I'm laughing because I'm watching my my co-host bouncing around and jumping and dancing in the background. That's very cool. We'll get them on in a second. I hope you like the new intro song. It's an original song. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Music, everything tomorrow. It might even be on the Billboard Top 40 here soon too. So if you didn't get to see that, you'll see it at the very end. There's actually a little bit more to the outro, but you'll see that here soon. Hey, first off, we got a great show. We got a great show tonight. I got to first off by thanking our sponsors of the show of this episode. That's going to be HE Paramotor and the all-new RS-185 with proven power and performance. The RS-185 is the new standard in powered paramotor. See the new RS-185. You can even test fly it at the Bad Apples Fly-In May 15th through the 18th. Before we go any further, I've got to give a shout out and a happy birthday to my oldest son, Brennan. He turned 22 years old today, paramotor pilot. He's going to be getting back into the sport here pretty soon when he moves down. So Brennan, I know you're not watching because you're volunteering tonight, but happy birthday to you. And friends, you've watched me for a long time. I've gotten to that age. Now that I have a 22-year-old, I'm going to start needing these because I can't see crap anymore. So if you're my age, you know what I'm talking about. Thanks, everybody, for joining. One other thing, too. I this had come up before, and, I'm going to start trying to put as many of your comments. I appreciate you being here on the screen as much as we can. I know when Rick gets here, he's going to start asking those questions as well. Hey, JP, haven't seen you in a while. Josh Perry, boy, a lot of people I haven't seen their names in a long time. There's Josh Perry. Wow. And Ripman Ryan. Haven't talked to that guy in a while, just this afternoon. Anyways, so, one of the things that we talked about is that, there's all these, we've got this streaming on 6 different social media outlets right now, and you're not going to be able to see, if you're watching on someone's YouTube, you may not be able to see all the comments from someone's Facebook. So we'll try to get all those comments up as much as possible. Thank you all for participating. Appreciate that. Now, I want to bring on Rick first, since Rick and I have been, watching videos of Kyle O'Glee for a long time now, 6-7 years, right? Hey, Rick. There you are.
What's happening, everybody?
Hey, buddy. So, Rick, I want to share with you something. I'm gonna inflate Mr. O'Glee's ego a little bit. I don't think that's actually possible. He's probably one of the most humble people you could ever meet. So here we are, Rick. You and I, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, we're trying to grow these YouTube channels. Haven't really done much of that, but we've tried. Damn it, we have really tried. And I remember I was still under 100, and I was really trying to grow. I was trying to grow, looking ahead, hoping to get that. I came up with this one video, and here I am. And Kyle O'Glee, I will say this, there's nobody probably has influenced me more than Kyle, okay? Without him, I would never have flown a football into a stadium. I would never have started flying the flag and been able to do the national anthem. And, so there's a lot of things he's done, and my wife hates him for it, but that he's inspired me to do. But Rick, I remember, kind of being, I've driven and have had many interactions with many celebrities, and one of my jobs being a limousine driver. And I kind of was fanboying on Kyle for a long time. Now he's just a guy. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
So, but I remember a long time ago, he's smiling in the green room right now. I can see him. So there was a video that I did called "A Devastating Day for Every Paramotor Pilot." It was this black and white video, and just 2 minutes long. 6 years ago, you can see right there, and it was just me looking up at a windsock with black and white. Flag was blowing all over the place. Going, oh my gosh, I can't believe another day. I can't I can't. And it was kind of funny. And to my surprise, and I only had like 80 some subscribers at the time. And surprisingly, I see this comes up. Well, now you have 87 subs. Wife says this is me all the way, had us cracking. And I was just so honored that I saw that, and that Kyle was actually watching a video of mine that had actually made me happy. I replied back, thank you so much. And I still mean this today. Thank you so much for the countless hours of entertainment you have provided me and many others. I'm glad I could give you 2 minutes of entertainment, hopefully many more for a long time to come. It really means a lot coming from a guy who really influenced me to make a huge change and get into paramotor. So yeah, I mean, Kyle's a part of the reason that I jumped into flying paramotors. Rick, what was one of the reasons for you? I mean, how has he inspired you?
Well, when I first got into YouTube, I was like a lot of us. I thought I was going to be the next Tucker, and have millions of subscribers and followers. But I had a conversation with Kyle in the comments or somewhere, and he said, "Just be yourself, G." I remember. I'll never forget it. And,
yeah,
it really kind of stuck with me.
On a follow up to that, Rick, Kyle also followed up with me not too long later on, and he gave me some advice. And this is great advice for anybody, like you said, that wants to be the next, I'll say, YouTube sensation, right? He called me or he messaged me, and he said, I want to give you some good advice. And I'm like, oh, yes, I'm going to get subscribers. What is he? And he said, put the camera away. Just learn how to fly right now. Don't worry about using a camera. Don't worry about making videos. Just learn how to fly, and you'll go a lot further. And it was great advice. I'm not sure if I really listened to him, because I mean, you tell me all the time I still don't know how to fly, but that's okay. Hey, why don't we bring in Tony? Tony's here. Tony's also been watching Kyle for some time. Tony, how about you? Has he inspired you at all?
I mean, when I first met Rick and I was going to go to the school, one of the guys that I watched a lot was Mr. Kyle. And he was very humble, very simple. Like, he kept me all the time just watching him. And to me, it was so simple. It was just insane. Everybody else was talking bad about each other or nasty comments about another school or about somebody else. And this guy was just easygoing. And honestly, I got hooked on watching him.
There you go. There you go. I mean, all these people right here. Here's Shane says, I still watch his videos. Bill H says, I was one of his first. Look at this guy. Wolf fanboys to this day over Kyle O. I don't know who that guy is. Bushcraft, Texas. Who knows who he is? I don't know. I know. Let's bring Matt Gregg in. And here's Matt with the prez of Rez, Ready to Paramotor. And I know Matt has been talking all day how much Kyle has influenced him since he started watching his videos today.
Oh, yeah. Today. Yeah, I started watching him this morning, and I thought, man, this guy should own stock in a company that makes spark plugs, because every video I watched, he had like a spark plug fell out. I mean, it was just crazy stuff. And but no, the videos were pretty good. It was kind of exciting. He seems like a good old boy, and I can't wait to meet him here tonight. And I'm so glad he came to our show. And so that's where I'm at. But
I agree. Now, real quick for you, a lot of stuff's going on with Ready to Paramotor, a lot of talk. Any spoilers? Any spoilers for coming up stuff? I just did a video about all the bags that we have coming out. What about any spoilers about like stuff that's going to be at Bad Apples? Do you want to give that away now, or do you want to wait on that?
So I see Tony's telling me to shh over there. So, all right. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay. So we got a whole bunch of stickers, and so we talked to the Bad Apples the committee earlier this week. When you go to your pilot registration, they're going to give you a little card. And on this card is obviously it's a Welcome to Bad Apples card, but it's in partnership with Ready to Paramotor. And on the back of that card is going to be basically kind of like a little punch ticket. So we have so much free stuff and free gear that we're giving out. When you register at Bad Apples, you get that card. You bring that card by the tent, and we're going to give you free stuff, different stuff every single day. So you're going to have to come by and see us every day. But you want a spoiler? Here's the spoiler. They're going to hand you out a sticker, too. It's an R2P sticker. And if you put that sticker on your helmet somewhere, every single day, we're going to have a special giveaway. And we're just going to go out there on the field. We're not going to tell you what time. And we're just going to go randomly to somebody on the field. And if they got an R2P sticker on the helmet, you might win, and you might win big. That's all I can tell you right now.
Not going to give it away just yet. All right. Thank you for that. Last question for you, Matt. Are we giving away anything tonight?
Yeah, tonight. So tonight we're giving away the brand new hats. So we have Rick's wearing one. I've got one here in my hand. These are the North Face Paramotor hats. I don't know, it's looking a little blurry there. We've got these in both foot launch and in trike. So we're going to give away North Face hats tonight.
How many are we doing?
How many do you want to do?
Let's do 2. How's 2?
2 sounds good. So
we're going to make this real easy for everybody too. In a second, we're going to bring Kyle in here in just a second. Kyle, I know you've been waiting patiently, and everybody's been waiting patiently for Kyle. We're just building it up more. So
well, I think he's in
for a year.
Yeah.
Isn't he in the bathroom?
He might be in the bathroom. I think I hear that in the back. All right. So we're going to give away 2 hats. In a second, I'm going to put on the hashtag. You can just put it on now. We'll give 2 away near the end of the show. Okay. But if you're going to win, you got to still be on the show and claim your prize. Okay. But the hashtag is going to be good content, because that's what Kyle always says. I hope this is good content. So we're going to have that as our hashtag. And last thing here, before we bring Kyle in, let's just talk about the next upcoming shows that we have. We've got Preparing for Bad Apples. Jerry Devers will be here from the Bad Apples Planning Committee to answer any questions. May 15th, we will be live from Bad Apples. Hopefully, we're going to be giving a motor away. And then May 29th, Ryan Southwell is going to be joining us. So those are the upcoming shows there. Make sure you're tuning in. Wherever you're watching, make sure you're subscribing so you don't miss the show. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back. After a 1-year hiatus of tooling around the yard, fixing junk and putting together whatever and dealing drugs, of course, Mr. Kyle Oakley. Welcome, Kyle, to the show. Hey, buddy.
What's up, guys?
What's on, brother?
He is.
The loser's here.
What's going on?
So, what kind of show is this?
So the big reason I wanted to get Kyle in here, we're one of the things that we've talked about is that at the Bad Apples, we're going to be allowing people to test fly some of these new motors we have. We've got the RS-185, the RS-206. Rick just flew that and just won't even let anybody else touch it at this point. So that was, we're going to tell stories. We wouldn't be a show with Kyle if we weren't telling stories, right? I think I just cut you off before the show. I said, no, let's talk about that on the show. But what I really want to, you can start off with that, but I really want to get to is getting people past their fear. You've tried a lot of motors. People have brought motors into the school, the Kyle Oakley School.
Yeah. I've seen pretty much everything there is, unless it came out this last year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we have the Gorilla coming. You haven't seen the Gorilla, but we can't wait to show you that, man.
Fun times. So what's the new big power plant? Because I'm still having problems with the Polini 303. I think I'm just gonna hang it on the wall and call that a lesson learned, right, Rick?
Dumpster.
Yeah, we're not allowed to.
Out of the last 10 tandems, I've had 5 emergency landings, so it's just part of the blueprint.
We have a special
this motor's gonna foul out. Yep. This motor's gonna foul out now. It's ignition system and the motor mounts broke off, and then it's no longer reliable. So none of them are though. None of them are.
Well, is it that, or because I'm going to be honest with you, Kyle, when I watched all your videos today, and not all of them, but I watched a good 2 hours of them. You had a maintenance problem in almost every single video that I watched. So either you just fly an enormous amount,
multiply that by about 5 or 6 paramotors, and here I am. It's like everything's broken at some point.
All right, cool.
It's never ending. It's never ending. There's a fleet of them. They've all got some kind of hiccup.
Yeah, well, Rick and I, we're in a little bit of a squabble right now. So we have the RS-206 on the new HE.
Who makes that one?
That's from HE Paramotors.
Okay.
And so Rick would make fun of me because I wear fluorescent yellow shoes almost every day. And we ordered this paramotor in from HE, and it came in a neon yellow color. I let Rick fly the thing. He's done some great videos on it. But he don't want to give it back to me, and it's my favorite color. And so we're in this little squabble about who's going to end up with this 206.
I got it hidden. I got it hidden away.
Based on the color, right?
Oh
I
my
guess
gosh!
if there is a reason to pick one.
Yeah. So the 185. So we were flying the 185 for a while, and that thing is just a powerhouse. I haven't flown.
It's kind of like the yardstick by which most everything is measured at this juncture in the sport, I assume. How does it compare to a Moster? When something new comes out, that's your comparison, right? Everybody knows what an Apple is. So how does it compare to the 185? That's kind of the yardstick, which is why, I picked that brand for my fleet because they were the most popular things around, at least at that time. Probably still are. But they, if you own 5, you probably best own the same kind. because then you don't have to have extra parts and different things, and you get something new, and all of a sudden there's new propellers, new carburetors, new junk boxes.
Oh yeah.
And so I've tried to streamline it as hard as that is, but I've ended up with others, and it's just it's always a handful of broken stuff.
Kyle,
Oh my God, I had one. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask, go back to like your first motor. You're starting to learn to fly, and this was a long time ago, but how did you get out of your comfort zone? What I want you to do is help other people to get out of their comfort zone. Say it's okay. I mean, look, you've flown your motor 100+ hours. You know how to fly a glider. When is it time to try other people's stuff? When is it time to try their gliders to see what else is out there, to see what else they might like? And same thing with the motors.
Well, I mean, when you get your wings, when you get a feel for it, and you're not making errors anymore and breaking stuff and fumbling around, and when it looks good, you're doing good. And if you can do it and look good, then you're probably safe to try somebody else's stuff and not, it just, you don't have to be an experienced pilot, but just, solid fundamentals as any pilot should have. That's what you're going for. It's what I would want to have before I we just talk about motorcycles or boats or anything, you don't just throw a new guy on it and be like, good luck, you have fun, right? Especially as easy as they are to crunch. But, once you're making your moves, it becomes pretty obvious at a point like, okay, I could try something now that I've got my moves. And that's really all you need. I mean, nothing special, not a ton of experience, just some solid moves.
Yeah.
Fundamentals. And that's all of us. And once you get there, that's really the end of it anyway. We're just trying to, your whole progression after learning those basic moves is just to continue to try to do those moves good, your
Right.
takeoffs, your landings, your maneuvers, your decisions, all the things that make you a pilot. You want to practice those things and practice on the things you're weakest at if you can. You run into new guys, they want to learn to reverse. I want to do reverse. And so they go out there and try to force it, but it may not be the right conditions for reverse. So you want to, wait until it's appropriate to practice the things that you need to practice. But you just want to be well-rounded is the goal, be it beginner, intermediate, advanced, or old geezer, just,
No, geezer.
For the most part,
was that an answer, or did I ramble off into some other topic there?
Well, you talked about old geezer. I thought you were talking about Tony for 1 second.
That's all of us, man. That's all that goes into the sport, right?
motors aren't so. I mean, yes, some of them are going to be more powerful. Some of them are going to have more of a power band or less of a power band. It's really more of the gliders, wouldn't you say, that you really need to get on the ground?
Well, yeah, that's your craft. That's you're flying the glider. The motor's an accessory. Sadly,
Right.
A lot of people don't look at it that way. They think the motor's that's what you fly. That's that's just a hammer. You're driving nails. So you gotta the glider and the harness is your craft. The motor's just there to push.
Mhm.
So the it's just a thing in your right hand and strapped to your back. But if you're a left-handed throttle guy, I guess it's strapped to your left hand. But most of my throttles are on the right side stuff. So
Well, see, that's a debate that we've had for past week or two. We've had that debate. So I'm a
What
left-handed
debate?
throttle guy. I'm a
Uh-huh.
left-handed throttle guy. I don't feel comfortable if it's on the right-hand side. That's just me. So you think that it would be in my best interest to get used to a right-hand throttle, or just stick with what I'm used to on a left-hand throttle?
I mean, no best interest. It's take your pick. There's no right or wrong answer.
Sometimes
I
if
can
you
do
wanna
both.
fly-
I learned both. The first time I ever tried a lefty, though, it was like having a new girlfriend. The kiss is different,
Yeah.
So
It
This
been
is
a
a
while
big-
since I had one. But
Well, this is a family show, man. Come on. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
you're
that's right.
single? Well, listen, if you're single, John Ripa, or Ripa can give you some lessons. I think he's on Tinder, and
I tell you, when I switched hands the first time, it was like I had to kind of take my time and do because I'm not used to it, right? I mean, how dirty does it sound? But it was
On Saturday, I had my little power motor left hand. I couldn't do it.
no. I mean,
No, I
you
had
just
to go
gotta.
back
It
over
kind of
my-
took me back. It kind of took me back to when I was a beginner, and I felt like a beginner again because I'm doing something new. Even though it's flying a paramotor, and I was experienced at that point, but first time I touched a left-handed throttle, it was like, oh, it feels like I'm doing paramotoring for the first time again. It's kind of what it felt like. All
It
new
did.
and awkward. You remember the first time you
It
put
did.
one on and walked around?
Yep.
It feels so awkward, like wow, and then after
Mm.
500 flights, it feels like you're putting on your pants. It's just like, oh, this is it. You don't even
Yeah.
think about how it feels anymore. It just becomes a normal part of your moves.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
London,
and I remember the excitement and the sleepless nights and the dreams that I had about flying paramotors as a beginner. And then, fast forward, over a decade and thousands of flights. And it almost feels like you're just getting in your car and going down to the store for a pop or something. It's, I mean, they're still amazing to fly. I'm not discounting it at that juncture, but it just becomes background noise. The actual motions, going through the motions of flying your paramotor. It's just like doing anything, tying your shoes, putting on your pants, getting in your vehicle. But it is aviation. You do have to approach it slightly differently, but even those things can become sort of commonplace with enough reps, right? At least that's how I feel about it. And
yeah.
also
Well,
fly, in a sense that I don't trust the things to work. So I'm never in a bad spot when they do go out. I've never had like a calamity due to an engine out, and I've lost count of how many engine outs I've had, but
Mhm.
that should never be a thing. That's the one thing that probably bothers me about the sport more than anything is people just putting. Do y'all hear my dog barking at
Maybe
the
a little
door?
bit.
You're a devil, man. Stop it. Where was that? So yeah, but the people that are in the bad spot when their motor goes out and they hit the trees, the rocks, the water, all that can be prevented. And I preach it, so many times over and over. It kind of feels silly to say it a thousandth time, but if somebody needs to hear it, that's important. So that's probably the biggest thing about anything that we do is to just always be in that good spot that gives you a glide down to your, if you're low, you've only got what, half a turn, make
Mhm.
it count. Know where that half a turn is going to be. If it's going to put you in the trees, the mistake was back there, not where you're at. So you got to be thinking ahead, flying ahead. But it's an easy formula. And again, that in itself becomes background noise. Just the moves I make. I look at the wind, look at the terrain, look at the obstacles, and pick my perfect line. And if you're on your perfect line, if the motor dies, even if it looks like you're low and weaving through the trees, and sometimes I don't ever do it without having that out. But I see people willy nilly go out weaving through the trees without an out, and it's obvious to somebody that's looking for it. But again, I'm getting kind of on my teacher's pedestal here, teaching to the students.
That's why you're
Speaking
here.
of students, I haven't had any new students this spring semester. It's the first time since the school opened. I've just had an empty classroom. So
well,
it's
and what are you attributing that to? Do you think that it's harder these days with the economy to get students, or what do you think's
oh,
going
there's
on?
a lot of factors to it. I'm sure that there's more schools available, more people are doing it. I'm I've not been marketing, so to speak, with putting videos out was kind of the marketing tool, so to speak. Not ever meant to be that, but that's what it turned into in a sense is the people watching the videos seeing that I'm teaching school and then they're contacting me based on that. But when I took a hiatus from making content, then that that put it in not as many people reaching out. There's been a few tire kickers and such and
Mhm.
people that say they're going to come, but it's always been like that. For every 10 contacts you get one guy and girl shows up something, but it's been
What
slow and it kind of took a slowdown last fall. I had gaps. I have students for 2 weeks and then a week off, and then students for 2 weeks and then a week off, and which is fine with me. I've got a lot of stuff to do, but yeah, the teaching is kind of got free time now. Nobody's here, so yay.
Well, do you think that because you stopped producing content, that people just thought you gave, you just kind of walked away from the sport,
I
or
couldn't tell you what people think. I don't know.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well, for me, I'm new into the sport, so again, that's why I didn't know who you were, but I'm not a YouTuber. If it wasn't CSI or NCIS, I wasn't really watching it, back in those
yeah.
days. But that's awesome. Rick, what do you think? How much does marketing and producing content equate to students these days?
Oh yeah, I get a lot of people that find me from YouTube and Facebook. Most of my students find me from YouTube. People come from all over the country, and it kind of amazes me, but it's great.
That's what the
Well, we
majority of people that came to my school for many years, and I mean, I'm at a point now where it doesn't really matter. I'm doing different stuff, and if somebody wants to come learn, I'm happy to teach. I enjoy teaching, or I wouldn't have picked it up as a side gig. But I
How
still do drugstore a couple days a week, and nothing's really changed except for the volume, and there's still people coming around. Most of them are, return students, so they can come back anytime, and
Yeah.
or just people coming through and flying. Yo, I'm gonna go put this dog out. He's gonna throw a fit here in a second.
We've lost our guest.
That's
And
right.
That's
That's
our-
dog
that's
issue too.
That's right. I was gonna say earlier
on,
though,
David. Come on.
London Ivy beat me to the question I was gonna say. When you're flying with that left-hand throttle, that leaves that right hand open for me, for vaping, texting on my phone, or hopefully never to throw that reserve, right?
Yeah.
So
But
So I hear that argument. I hear that argument a lot, but you can do all that stuff with a throttle in your hand. I mean, it just takes up these few fingers. All your pinchy stuff is still there, whether you're throttling right hand or left hand. If it's a good ergonomic throttle, that is, they're not all the same. But if you got a good ergonomic throttle, it shouldn't take your hand out of the game at all. If it does, you might want to reconsider.
I don't know.
Because I can hold my phone and my throttle in the same hand, and it
I
doesn't.
can't do that. That's amazing.
No, I mean,
I've told these guys that when
I'm
you're
not doing a whole lot on the phone either. Checking. I mean, sometimes I'm flicking the songs, but I can do that with the helmet button.
Well,
So-
when I was flying on, I think it was Sunday, and I'm flying with David, and we were flying over by the Wachula crane, and all of a sudden inside my headset it keeps going ding ding ding, and I'm like, who the heck is texting me while I'm flying? So I have fat fingers, but I pull my phone out, and I look at my phone, and it says I have an engine out, and I got this nice text back, and then I turn around, I do 180 degree in the paramotor, and I look back, and I'm like, where is David? So it reminded me of the videos that I watched from you this morning, Kyle. I mean, how many engine outs have you had?
That's
Bit
I don't know. I mean,
Too many to count.
monthly, one a month.
Rick, you were going to have something?
I've
Ricky?
had 4 in one flight. I've had 4 motor outs in one flight. I remember that.
Oh, my.
Wow. You broke a record
You
on
know.
that.
I don't know. I just kept restarting it and kept flying, and it'd die again. It was just a carburation thing. But
Well,
that
that's one of the things that cracked me up about your videos. You're like, well, this don't sound right, it don't look right, but let's go flying, woohoo! And I'm going, I don't know that I have that kind of guts at this point in my.
Well, I know where I'm going,
history.
right? I know where I'm fixing to land at all times. That's the trick. That's the magic trick. And you don't have to trust your motor to work if you're flying like that. So
Okay.
it's just, again, it becomes second nature when I call it gaming the scenario, right? You're just looking for, you never leave yourself without an out, whether you're taxiing, climbing out, flying around, coming in, whatever. It should never be an issue ever. Oh, motor out, I'm landing. I guess maybe 2 or 3 motor outs ago, I was 10 feet off the ground, full power, boop, full stop, caught the surge, hit a landing. It was nothing. But, sometimes they're at 14,000 feet, you run out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
And then most of the time we're somewhere in between.
Hey, Rick, did you have a question, or are there any questions in the chat you wanted to hit?
I haven't seen a lot of questions. There's been a lot of conversation going on in the chat.
Yeah.
Really active tonight.
I think I saw Clayton had a question. It's going to be on your screen right there.
When are you going to start? Excuse me. When are you going to start
I was
those videos
telling
again?
this story in the pre-show, and since I made a video a couple months back, like, hey guys, this is what I've been doing, la 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 di da. Y'all probably seen that one, but then I started trying to make content. I'm still going to the field, flying, whatever, 2 or 3 days a week, something like that. Anytime the weather's nice, I'm doing an outside activity of some sort. This last week's been chores, but I was trying to make some paramotor content. So the first 2 flights that I tried, turned on the camera. Hey guys, I'm back. Let's make a paramotor video. And then I'll say anything for the whole dang flight. And then I land and I realize, oh God, I was recording a video. Stupid. And I'm lashing myself 5 lashes for, screwing that up. And now I just got the drone footage. I'd have to go over and do a voiceover on it. But then I tried it again another time, and I got maybe halfway through the flight, like, oh, we're flying, whatever, talking the usual stupidness that I'm blathering on about, and then stop. And then after I landed, I realized I'm making a video. Dang it, forgot to do, whatever the rest of it was. But this last time, third time's a charm, as they say, I actually did the entire video, and my battery died at some point before I landed. But
Mm.
I know I looked at it just a little while. I know I got most of the video in, and then I did the outro in the truck after I was like charged the camera back up for a few minutes. But I got the whole video made, and I just need to edit it and post it up. That was just a few days ago
There
that
you
I
go.
did that. So it's coming. It's coming. I've tried 3 times, but I got one. So
Everybody-
there, I'm making videos.
They've missed your content, man. We all have.
I know. And you know, personally, I just had to kind of get away. You know, how many times can you film yourself launching out of the Spring Hill Airport and doing some circles? I mean, it just becomes such a mundane thing. It'd be like, you know, any one of y'all filming yourself going to work every day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how many times can you do it and be sane? But I had to just take some time off from it. But I do enjoy it, and I still enjoy flying. But the vlogging and flying was a different thing. And
Yeah.
I've enjoyed not doing that. And now I kind of miss it. But it's also hard because I ain't done it in a while. So I fumbled at it a little bit.
Yeah. It
But,
it seems like for a lot of us, it's like, you know, we've hit it, we've done it so many times. Is it still interesting out there? Have you seen
Yeah.
anybody's stuff that you like and go, man, that's like, for me, you know, watching someone fly a flag into a football game or for the national anthem, that's something I had to do. It was
oh,
exciting.
yeah.
Go. Have you seen anything you're going, you know, that's something I have never done, and that's something I'd really like to do? Have you seen anybody do anything?
Oh, like on a paramotor?
Well, yeah, that's what the whole show's about, is paramotoring.
I mean, when you're talking about 2-up type of stuff, I guess, but I thought this show wasn't dirty. I've done everything else,
We're,
and my
we're
wife
not.
don't like to fly, so I'm kind of at the end of the road with it. It's
Okay, well, there are
you know,
you can take a tandem up, you know. There's a lot of
yeah, we can mount the harness backwards. I mean, I am an inventor. I could come up with something for sure. Right?
wow, whole new side of Kyle O. We never saw that on the videos.
Exactly. I took Jennifer up on the tandem, and man, we made it a half a lap, and she said, "Put this thing down on the ground right now. I don't like it." And I was like, "Yes,
Same
ma'am." You know, but
Same thing with my
what do you
Jenny.
do?
She
What
doesn't
do you
like to-
do?
My Jenny doesn't like to fly.
And I kind of,
Tony-
you know, it's not for everybody. We've got some kind of mental illness that you know makes us do this thing. I suspect everybody I know calls me crazy. Oh, they're crazy because we fly these things. Y'all ever get called that? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Paramotor crazy.
I think I used to be called that.
They look at me like I'm crazy. But Tony
They
has
think you are. They think you are. If they see you flying with these things, they think you're insane. If they
Mhm.
don't have any sort of, you know, information about it, which most people don't, you know, it looks like something that Wile E. Coyote would chase the Roadrunner with, right?
Right.
I mean, it really does. It looks like an Acme flying contraption. And again, for the uninitiated, it really does look sketch, like all the way. Like, and of course, and then on the, you know, when they look up accidents, right? That's they all look
God.
so
Yeah.
terrible.
Don't watch
So-
paragliding videos. That's
So
always
Tony
been
wants to know about the Thanksgiving party fly-in. Well, I did it, advertise it, and I think a couple people came. Yeah, some guys from Dallas showed up, and we flew one evening. They spent the night, and it was kind of a low rent party, so to speak. But I was ready. I was
Where
ready
are
to
you-
party.
Where do you live, Kyle? I don't know. I mean, you don't have to tell me your
At
street
corner
address.
of Northwest Louisiana. I'm north of Shreveport, Louisiana, right on the Arkansas line.
but- okay.
Like way up at the top. As far
Fantastic.
from New Orleans as you can get. That's where I'm at.
All right. Well, did you deep fry a turkey at this fly-in, or what'd you do?
I don't remember. I think we grilled something. I don't remember what it was. Burgers, steaks, gumbo. I don't know.
Flying
I'm
is
trying to
hot
do a
dogs.
different food item every year, and so it's varied over the years. Man,
Well,
we've
I
done
got-
steaks, burgers, gumbo, boudin, pizza. One night we ordered like 25 pizzas, I think, and just had pizza party. And
Well, if you
I mean,
do
it's always kind of an odd time of the year, right? Thanksgiving, everything's getting cold, rainy, windy. We usually have like a normal day, a windy day, maybe a rain day is what traditionally it usually ends up. But it's always some moment in there when we can go fly, and it's usually colder. But I always kind of aimed for that because of that, because I'm having the thing at my house. It's not like I can have, 200 pilots show up and accommodate people. There's not enough parking.
Yeah,
So I kind of had to pick. I thought if I picked it around a holiday, that would kind of limit This a number of bodies that could show up and skip Thanksgiving kind of deal. And more people came than I ever would have thought. Hell, more people watched the videos than I ever would have thought. I never expect anybody to watch the stuff that I make. It just seemed so low rent to me. Like, who wants to
Low rent.
watch me? I mean, I'm just
Hey.
doing this stuff out of the front yard here.
Listen, your content, look, once you start making videos about, I don't know, say crows, then you've hit the bottom. Okay. So as long
Yeah.
as you do stuff like that, you're good.
I got this damn crow friend, man. This thing follows me around the yard, and I never would have aimed at that. I mean, that was outside of my doings, but this thing hangs out with me. So I don't know. It's actually been gone a little bit because I think it's breeding season. Like Miss Crow, he brought Miss Crow for a few weeks, and now Miss Crow's gone, and it's just Crow Bro that's back. And I think maybe Miss Crow's having a nest somewhere, and I ain't been seeing him as much. But he was here a couple of days ago for several hours.
Hey, I want to show y'all my cock. Speaking of birds,
Oh,
Your
this
what?
is my pet. My cock.
there's this
That's
cock.
my pet. I trained him.
Hey, how many of you guys ever been to a cockfight?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I've never been to a cockfight, but Rick, that looks a little on the small side. You don't have a bigger wound in the background.
The camera makes it look small.
Oh, is that what it is?
I mean, they're illegal now in all 50 states, but there was a time when I was a teenager when they were going on.
Andy,
Like,
Oh my gosh.
Put your
Well-
cock away. Man, it's a family show. Hey, so listen, I told you I wasn't going to ask you this question, but everybody's been asking, is Kyle going to Bad Apples? Give him the big old no.
what day is it?
Are you serious? May
It's
5th.
Yeah, when is it?
It's
May
next month.
15th.
It's next month.
Oh, I'm not going to do that.
Are you
I don't
serious?
got any students lined up. There's always been a line at the door, so
You can come?
I've always just been wrapped up with training, but not right now. So maybe.
I mean, I've only been asking like
Huh.
5 years to come to it.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I heard the
Good
grass
time.
is good out there, right?
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
a putting green. The whole thing is like a
Yeah.
putting green. Really?
Just like my front yard.
yeah, right.
It really is pretty nice.
Is it really? All right. Well,
Yeah. I got like a green carpet out front. It's pretty good.
Nice.
I've been tending to it.
Do you still have your name mowed into it? Or did
No, it's the horses are out there grazing that.
That's
The
been a while.
whole idea behind that thing is I wanted to do it long enough until Google took a picture and put it on the maps or whatever. And then as soon as it got online, I was like, okay, I can quit messing with that.
Do you are you on Google Earth? It says your name in your lawn for real?
Yeah, it did at one point. Unless
Huh.
they up that was a while back. It might have taken it off at this point if they keep updating.
Okay,
But,
that's fun.
I guess my mother.
Yeah, I just wrote my name in the front yard. The neighbors would drive by periodically. What do you got out there? They couldn't see it from the road, but they could tell something was going on, right? And they'd stop by like, what's going on in your yard? Or they'd come in the drugstore and ask me about it. And I was like, I wrote my name. And like, I wondered what that was. I've been driving by and looking, and I had a few of them, a handful of people come by and ask me what the hell was going on out there. But like crop circles or something, but just barely from the road. You couldn't make out what it said. But from the sky, it's pretty easy.
Oh, Boudin. Yeah, Boudin. Boat. How do you pronounce it?
Boudin.
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 Spelled Boudin, but you say
Yeah.
Boudin.
Oh,
If you don't say Boudin, they'll know you're not from here. Yeah.
my
Yeah,
mother.
just like Natchitoches.
My mother was in the chat. She said night night. Gave me a shout out to mom. I think this is the first time watching. Hi, mom. God.
So
Oh,
Kyle,
John. Hey, what's up, John? I'm thinking about you the other day. For years there, every time I turned around, like every month or so, John would be there. He would he would drive back. He had family on either side of me, like across the nation. Like one was Arkansas, he's from Georgia or Alabama or something. And on his travels back and forth, he would just stop by. And so I'd be teaching, and I'd hey, it's John. That's pretty cool. I ain't seen him in a minute.
well, Kyle, what does Kurt mean by your parties are killer? What's that all about?
I mean, they're good. That's slang for parties are real good.
What makes your parties really good?
They're killer parties, man. Probably the pizza and the boudin. I don't know.
Okay.
The,
Well, what'd
the
you
smell
think?
of
What?
burnt two-stroke gas. Woo!
There you go. What did you think of our new intro song? Did you like our dance moves and
Well,
everything?
so check it out. As soon as the show turned on, I spilled this effing drink all over this bed in this room. Like as soon as the noise started, I went to adjust my screen and knocked this fucking cup over, and it got everything wet, and I had to run. I was getting a towel and sopping it up while all that was going down. So I heard it, but it sounded good. That bass, I could hear the bass in my ears.
I think I listened to
a
it
paramotor rap song, right?
Oh yeah. So the first time we got that song done, thanks to our wonderful brand ambassador David Wolf over there.
He's a mix masterologist.
He's like a mix master for sure. I listened to that thing for I think 3 straight hours, just jamming out in the truck, rocking it out. You know, I'm going, this is just awesome and amazing. So we were so excited to bring that tonight. But Tony's signature line is the pressure. And so when you said you mowed your name in your yard, I'm thinking Tony's got a brand new property over in Zolfo Springs, Florida. Tony, maybe you should mow pressure and see if we can get Google.
That's already in the works.
Y'all, the neighbor down the street, Jake, I seen him down at another neighbor's house having a party down at the other neighbors, and he said, Kyle, I've been practicing some artwork like you did in your yard. He said, I wrote you something in my pasture back there behind the house. I was like, oh, that's fun. Hey, Aaron, he just checked. Kyle Lowe is no longer in it. Hey, Aaron, I bought a motorcycle. It came in the mail today. He bought a motorcycle too, I know. So maybe Aaron and I can do a motorcycle.
Your super expensive
motorcycle. I bought the cheapest bike on Amazon.com and had it delivered to the house. And I put that sucker together. It's a Hawk 250. Somebody probably knows what that is.
Yeah, like the old Honda Hawk.
It's like a generic. Yeah.
I thought you said Hawk Tui.
Hawk 250.
We called it a Chanda. It was a Chinese Honda.
Chanda, yeah, that's a funny slang one. I like that one. I told my brother I was getting a Chanda, and he cracked up. That was good. But Jake, I was like, oh, Jake wrote something in his yard. So I put, like a couple of days later, I was all excited. Let's go see what the neighbor wrote. Special mission, I fly down to the neighbor's house. It was a great old big, cock and balls.
Family show.
Yep.
I've only got.
Oh, well, I don't know what else to call it. Everybody's drawn one somewhere sometime, right?
It was a big.
Oh, so bitch! Here we go again.
So it's saying that there's only six good hashtag good content in the so far in the prize, which is hard to believe. But
so nobody wants a hat.
Well, 6 people do.
Okay.
6 people do. So where is it? Good content. Hashtag good content, just like the way it is on the screen right there. So
it's got to be in the comments.
It's got to be in the comments. Yeah, you can't just say it because we got
good content.
We got a little thing that brings it up here, and so let's see. So it looks like 7 people now. So keep putting it in, and we'll give it a little bit more time. What the hell? 6, 7? I don't know. Hopefully this damn thing works. I don't want to go back to writing pieces of paper like I did 4 years ago. That would suck. What else?
Well, man, David, so, we've had so many comments about the engine giveaway that we're doing on that RS 185.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people are like, is it rigged? And so I made the promise to the community that I'm literally going to have my staff write down every single name for the 1,000 followers when we get to 1,000 followers on Facebook. And we're going to do that hand drawing, but we're going to do it the old fashioned way with paper. And so I'm excited to do that. But Kyle, we want to give away one of these RS 185s, but
nice.
it's been the hardest thing to give away, man. So building content and followers is
it's crazy.
It's been challenging.
I think I saw.
Well, you got to kind of fit into the cookie cutter YouTube algorithm to do successful YouTube content, I suspect. But
the only thing I can
paramotor is just such a niche community, right? There's a couple like Tucker, he had some kind of viral McDonald's thing that cross post that just put him on everybody's map. People don't know what a paramotor is, Saw Tucker got, he was the paramotor, what do you call it, mascot basically for the world. And that's when the sport really took off. I was there y'all were all there for the wave. Like everything went up, kind of peaked, and as it kind of tapered off where y'all are at the same sort of pace that mine has, or
absolutely.
Still going strong everywhere. I figure everybody's feeling it.
In all fairness,
the economy's down. There's stuff. There's all sort of factors. There's a lot more places to do it. It's easier access to the amount of stuff that's online. Even my videos is a huge resource for people that are trying to figure it out on their own, maybe.
Yeah. So
And there
Kyle,
may be some of that.
Kyle, in all fairness, Rick's YouTube channel never really got off the ground. It's gotten worse every day. It's just I don't get it. So
That's kind of what I was expecting on mine.
Well, Dave,
Angela,
we're planning to land the what is it, Taco Bell in the
What's
parking
that?
lot?
Well, yeah.
If
If McDonald's made Tucker God famous, maybe we should do Burger King.
no, we don't copy stuff. Angela says
No,
I'm
we'll do
confused.
Taco Bell.
Angela says there's all. So I've actually got about 27, 30 people now in it. So that's helped out a lot. But if you're really confused, if you're really not sure, the best thing to do is unsubscribe to Rick's channel and just subscribe to mine and just watch. No, I'm kidding, Rick. I'm messing with you, Rick.
I got the next great video. It's called the Taco Bell Challenge. I'm going to fly to Taco Bell on my paramotor, eat a Nachos Bel Grande, and see if I can
drop
fly
the
home without
chalupa.
shitting myself.
Bring a napkin.
Drop the chalupa.
That's funny.
Y'all know what I did the other day?
Tell us.
A paramotor story here. All right, so I don't know if it's official rule or not, but you can drink one beer and fly, right? Unless you drink 6 a day. Then you can drink 2 and go fly. All right, that's the rules. That's the rules. So I just brought a beer with me, and I thought I'm gonna go up here on this paramotor and drink a beer. And so I went up, flew around, and I was on my way home. I was like, all right, I'm gonna crack this sucker. So what I do, I hold it right up in front of my face and crack it so it spews all over my glasses. Like, oh, that was a dumbass move. And anyway, my glasses was dirty. The beer was spilled on my shirt, and then finally I drank what was left of it.
Give me a cookie.
I brought the trash home. I didn't just throw the can out the window. But so there's your story. Don't open it in front of you. Open it lower.
Yeah.
Probably everybody knows how to do that, but me. But I was new at it, so thought
Well,
I'd try something new, right?
I think Tony wants a cookie.
I think somebody does.
Are you
Everybody heard Tony wanted a cookie.
Are you hungry, Tony?
I think I remember that. I think I flew once and I tried drinking something and it just everywhere all over me. I don't know how they're doing it, but that's okay.
Well, so
You gotta open it down in your lap. You gotta open it in your lap.
I fly with a Yeti, David. You know that, right?
Yeah. You fly with a Yeti. You fly with a vape.
A golf towel.
GoPro.
Well, a golf towel so I can wipe my hands if they're sweaty in those nervous situations. The Yeti is so when I get thirsty, and then I am a vapor, so I do have a vape every now and then in the air. But everybody's got their vice, right? But if you use the Yeti, there, you won't have that problem with it going all over the place. So, not a plug for Yeti, but
that's funny.
There you go.
Yeah, I always wonder if I'm not the biggest drinker. Everybody sees me at the social events, and I'm usually having beers and stuff, right? But it's not like a common thing. And I got this neighbor down the road, and I'm usually going down there when her kids are in town. And almost always when I show up, I got a beer. I'm like, I swear I don't drink all the time. And I was like, yeah, that's what they all say, Cal. But I realized, after like a couple of years, like I've never been to this lady's house without having a beer with me. And that's pretty unusual because I'm always down there for social events. But I just wondered, I wonder if she thinks if I'm like drinking all the time, And that's like my self-conscious stuff right there. Huh?
Are you at the airport all the time still?
Oh, I mean, not as much as I used to be, but pretty often.
Okay.
The local guys that fly, there's a couple of local guys, if they go out, we all usually meet there because it's just a nice place to meet and fly. I keep it manicured out.
Yeah.
And, trimmed up. It's like golf course out there too.
All right. Well,
grass.
Well, most of the people in here know who you are, and I'm just getting to know you tonight. But if somebody's watching by any chance out here tonight, and they wanted to go to your school, how would they get a hold of you, Kyle?
Send me an email.
Well, okay. What's your email? What's your website? What do you?
No, it's just email. Kyle O, School of Paramotor @gmail.com.
Yeah, there's I think you have a website right out there.
Nope. Nope.
Is it just Facebook? It's just Facebook.
No, it's just email. You email me, and then we switch phone numbers, and then I just talk. I call you, and we talk after that.
You have a Facebook
It's
page.
pretty simple.
I
do have a Facebook page, but I never get on there really.
Oh, okay.
It's
who was I? Oh, I think I was talking to Ripa today, and he said, Facebook's really dead. It's really not what it used to be. And
Well, it became. I went back on it after a year just to kind of because I used to touch it every day. That sounds bad.
That's what she said.
But
that's what she said.
yeah, that's right. That's right. But I used to go on there at least once a day, and oftentimes I would spend a little, quite a while. Usually Paramotor Group Forum is where I was typically hanging out, just to kind of keep a vibe on the community. And it was a good tool for that. And then, I cut out of there and now I'm lost and don't know what the heck anybody's doing. But when I went back on, like something's weird with the notifications where it just fills up with stupid stuff. And I couldn't really, it was hard to navigate. It made you try to, I don't know. I'm just like, good luck with it. Maybe I'm just that old now that it's like technology has ran away from me. I'm left in the dust, as most people end up probably. As new technologies evolve, you end up sticking with what you used to know.
Well, I
mean,
think
about the time I figured out machining and learned how to make stuff in the machine shop, everything went, digital, CNC, CAD, computer aided design, and I'm just like, man, I could make a part by the time I learned how to do that stuff. And the new guys are that's just what you do now. It's all newfangled technology. And I'm out there counting thousandths of an inch and turning dials and such.
Well, I think it's generational. So our generation, I think, is on Facebook. 10 years younger, they're on the Gram. 10 years younger than that, they're on Snapchat. And then I think everybody in the world's on TikTok.
Not me.
And Instagram.
I've seen my whole family get hypnotized by that stuff. I'm like, I ain't looking at it. No way.
Yeah.
I have seen so many videos. It's my anxiety. I'm just to the point I can't even stand hearing that song anymore. I think there's a million videos out there with people dancing to My Anxiety, which creates anxiety for me.
What is? I don't know what that is. I know how to treat it.
treat it by going flying.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You're a pharmacist, right? What kind of pharmacist are you?
Yeah. Okay. Retail.
Okay, retail pharmacist. So
I've also done compounding
Are you at the mall or is it called the mall?
Both.
Both.
It's the mall pharmacy in the South Main Mall.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so we're bringing out the RS-206 and the RS-185 to Bad Apples. So I would love to invite you out there, Kyle, to come fly those. Have you ever flown one of the HE motors before?
Probably. What are the other ones they make? They do the Corsair?
No. Well, there was so Hermes, who owns HE, he had worked with others on some collaboration engines back in the day. But he had the MV1 and the MV2. That was his initial 185 and 206. And then just recently they came out with the RS-185. So the RS-185 is basically for all intents and purposes, it would compete with the Vittorossi Factory R. And then he came out with the RS-206. And so we want to make this available to people to fly and try at Bad Apples. And so that was part of our question earlier is like, should people feel comfortable enough to come to Bad Apples and try out that equipment and experience it, or and that's I think where we were going with that earlier.
Yeah, I mean, at some point there was have to earn your PPG 2 or something to even go to a fly-in. I don't know if that's a thing anymore or not. But just the equivalency of it. If somebody not gives you the nod, like they know what they're doing. It's the community kind of has each other's back as far as that goes. But again, if somebody knows what they're doing, whether they're great or not, doesn't really matter. But yeah, if you know what you're doing, come try it out. Those are the guys you want to try it out. I want to come try it out. I just want to come I ain't never been to a Bad Apples. I might need to just plan for that, huh?
Got to do it, man. It's the biggest flying.
I got my camper set up. A couple of weeks ago, I went out to El Paso to do Anthony. We did a recording on his podcast. But before that, I went up to New Mexico and I flew Alamogordo and camped in the desert for a few days, and it got blown out. I did the first day I was there. It was amazing. It was dust devils and desert, and man, I launched out of a what was it called, Dry Canyon, just to the east of Alamogordo, and got to fly free flight, no motors, just free flight paragliding, and got to watch the sunset over the White Sands Park there and the missile range, and there was jets too. I kept hearing jets, and I'm like, they're way up there, but they're loud. I'm looking around like, what are these jets? And so there was always jets out there in that area. It's missile testing and such. But I did that, and I went down to El Paso. But then it was just blown out for the rest of the week. And I did some paramotor flying in El Paso, and I flew the Franklin Mountains free flight, but it was just a sledder. It was I missed it. I didn't do it right. And me and Clint Chamales, we both just bottomed out immediately. Found the sink anyway, and then it got blown again. And I went down to Big Bend, but that was the whole kind of idea about like, hey, I need a motorcycle to put in this freaking camper, so that when it's not flyable, I got like a backup option to go exploring. And that was kind of the genesis where that sort of came back to life. Not so much to go down the highway and get hit by somebody, but to when it's too not conducive for paramotor or paragliding, then you got the 2-wheel option.
Yeah.
Gas carbureted at that, because I got an e-bike the year before and that thing broke and I can't fix it because I don't know nothing about e-bikes, but I can put a motorcycle together from scratch.
That's cool. Well, Paralife PPG said in here to hand over a credit card and you can fly anything. But speaking of credit cards, that means buying something. And David, let's give something away for free, can we?
Can we do that? You want to do that? Are we ready?
Let's do it.
I think if you haven't done it yet, then you probably missed out on the chance. So it looks like we've got 41 entries. That's great. Here we go. Are we gonna do them both at the same time?
You know what? I think we're having such a good time with Kyle tonight. Let's do this. Let's give away 2 back-to-back. We'll go back to the conversation, and right before we're done, we'll give a third away tonight. Does that work?
That's good. That's fair. It's one more than we thought. Let's see who number one. Who's the winner of number one? Number one's gonna be David Wolf.
Kylo. Oh,
Ferret 007. Ferret 007.
I don't know who Ferret is, but congratulations.
Now, is that better or worse than 007? How did the rankings go?
Yes, it's pretty good, I think.
Like, if you get more zeros, is that more badass or less badass?
Isn't it the same number?
Less.
Well, I don't know. I look at my bank account every day, and I'm like, please just add one more zero to that account, please.
Ferret 007.
No, the zeros going the other end.
I don't know. I think it's all the same number. Wouldn't it be the same number? I don't know. So Ferret 007, there it is. If you win tonight, for everybody that wins, it's up there. Sales at ready2paramotor.com. And I guess, Matt, they should say if they've got a larger head or a smaller head. I've got a smaller head.
Well, so Rick, David was at the warehouse the other day, and he tried one of the hats on, and he goes, well, this should fit my head. And I felt so horrible because it was a one size fits all, and it looked like he was putting on a 10-gallon hat.
I got a tiny little head.
Yeah, he's a cute little fellow.
Yeah, thank you.
He has a little baby head.
But yeah, definitely email me your username, your real name, your address, and then my office is open tomorrow, and so we will get these out to you. But let's do another one real quick. Let's do a hashtag had fun, man. Hashtag had fun.
No, I can't do that. We're just gonna do it. It'll take forever. We're gonna just do good content again. We're just gonna keep
good.
it.
Oh, you're gonna keep it the same one?
Same one. Same one. So let's see. We've got one entry. What the hell?
You spelled it wrong.
Good. Oh, so that means somebody else spelled it wrong too. That's
what I say? Good content.
You still spelled it wrong. How many bourbons have you had tonight?
Content. Oh, there we go. Got it. That looked right. Let's see. Oh, look at that. We got. All right, good. All right, let's hit the drop button before anybody notices anything else wrong. All right. Can't win twice. Let's see who it is. Scuba Steve.
Awesome.
Good guy.
Oh, Scuba Steve.
Love Scuba Steve. He's such a good guy. He's such a good guy.
Should talk to him about your vapes, huh?
About your what?
He runs a vape shop.
Oh, right. I thought you said your place. All right.
No,
So
Mike said he liked the vape, and I was like, you should talk to Scuba about that. Right?
There you go.
Well, so here's the honest truth of me for me, and is I used to smoke 3 packs a day. And,
oh wow.
Yeah, and well, it was a high stress environment at work.
Wow.
And
impressive numbers there, Mike.
Yeah,
high stress for you or your employees?
Well, if you ask Chat GPT to roast me, it does come up with quite a good roast. And in fact, I actually hold on. Let's see if I can pull this up. So I went into Chat GPT earlier today and asked it to roast me, and it said Matt Gregg, Synergy Lighting by day, ready to paramotor by midlife crisis. So I was like, oh, okay. So where are they pulling this info? So it's pretty accurate stuff. But no, when COVID came out, they said if you smoked cigarettes, you were going to die. And I was like, well, I don't want to die. So I switched to vape, and it's still unhealthy as all could get out, I guess, and I probably over vape, but it's a heck of a lot healthier for me than
I should say my wife was I don't know how much she smoked, but she switched from cigarettes to vape a few years ago. And I immediately noticed that she doesn't cough as much, but at the same time, she doesn't have to go outside to hit the vape either. It's like she can just hit it where she sits, and so she doesn't move outside as much anymore. And so I'm like, where'd my wife go?
Yeah.
She used to come out and hang with me on the porch, but
I gotta
I'm on the internet. She's right there. I can't hear you.
I gotta say thank you to Hot Butter Steve, $5 donation. He knows I'll have to read everything he says anytime he makes a donation.
Here it comes then.
You got one of those muscle shirts, Davey. This is my new thing. Since I got the tattoo, I like showing it off. Send me one that comes with the muscles, will ya? Hey yo.
Ooh.
Hey yo. And then I gotta put this comment up here because this is just funny to me. So Robert puts that was rigged for sure. This is coming from the guy that would run his own show, win his own prize. Are you kidding me, Robert? You're the last person that should be saying that. Steve, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. Where were you about to tell a story? Someone was about to tell a story. Was it you, Matt?
No, I told the story about how I quit smoking cigarettes. But Larry Boy, what's he say? Midlife crisis, maybe more like older dudes have more mad money than kids. I had
Agreed.
I did have mad money 3 months ago. Now I don't.
It's all gone.
I don't have mad money anymore. So
it's all going to be on display at Bad Apples at this point.
It is
all coming to Bad Apples.
every free dollar that I had 3 months ago is gone into either groceries at Publix or ready to paramotor.
Yeah.
So we hope that works out. But so Kyle, I'll be super excited if you come out there.
Oh no.
Tony will be excited. He'll have to. Tony, I hear, is going to be the steak man out there. He's going to be cooking some steak, so we could throw a steak on the grill for you.
I smell a lot worse than I look. It's sorry.
Well, we do have fans that are going to be in the tent, so we'll just redirect them your way if that's the case.
I'll wear one on my back.
Content is spelled with the T. 5 5s. 5 5 5 5 5. Okay.
Good contenter.
Don't spell it like me. So there's that. All right. Oh, look. John Nasker saying hi to Robert. That's kind of cute. There it is. Look at that. Oh, they miss each other.
Sean, I ain't seen Sean in a while either.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
man, I miss the people. I've been kind of lonely out here in the woods alone.
Well,
I go to town. I see people that, I don't know. It's like for a while there, I think a lot of people were reaching out thinking something terrible had happened to me. Like, what happened to Kyle? Where are you at? You okay? I got a lot of "you okay?" question mark.
Yeah. Well, yeah, people miss it. It's kind of sad because we were. Rick will say it too. We were so big. It was like 5-6 years ago, 7 years ago. It wasn't just talking about or watching videos. It became something to talk about. Did you see what so and so did? Man, that was a great.
Yeah.
We would learn from each other,
Mm-hmm.
And now it seems like those, Woody used to put out great stuff. Then I don't even know if he flies anymore. If he does, it's so quiet that no one even knows. So, but it's that content that we're missing. I think it's a lot of it, and it's kind of like why our Paramotor Nation stopped. I felt like and Ripa will say the same thing. We've talked about everything at that point, but after a couple years, there's new videos to be made because there's new stuff that's coming out. There's new gliders. John just put out John and oh gosh, I had too much drink. Judson put out the great videos on the new prop.
The flare prop. Yeah. I watched Ripa's videos on that. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's new stuff, new content. Rip has been killing it with content and, doing soaring. And then of course, paramotor flying. Rick's been killing it, putting out some videos with our new stuff as well with the HE. Angela.
Hey, what kind of dunes does North Florida have over there?
No, he's on the East Coast. He's on the East Coast, so he's
he's got to be at the highest elevation in Florida over there on the beach, because it's the only place I think in the entire state that has an elevation over 5 feet. But
I found some dunes down at South Padre Island in South Texas.
There you
It
go.
wasn't a lot, but there's a couple 100-yard stretch there that they're about 30 feet tall and rather cliff-like. That seemed. I mean, I was just idling on the paramotor and was able to maintain, but the wind's got to be coming straight. Everything's got to be just right for a small dune to work. But I didn't know if Florida had something that was actually doable.
Oh yeah, so we had a whole episode. Was it like 2 weeks ago? We had Rip on 2 weeks ago.
Yes, no, 4 weeks ago. And
4 weeks. Gosh, time flies.
Kyle Glee, maybe you should go back and watch that episode. And you can learn more about dune soaring with John Ripa.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think, like, literally, if there's an elevation over 5 feet in Florida, Ripa knows where it is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always looking too. That's the thing. Once you get a good feel for that, it's hard not to try to figure out. Hell, all I got around here to look at is levees. Like, where's the levee? And maybe I could surf the levee, but most of them are not in good situation. But dunes are awesome. I like beach dunes.
Yeah. Well, I have to apologize. I did not give Tony or Rick much chance to talk tonight. And Rick, I miss hearing from you, man. How are you?
Yeah. Anthony Perry.
So how close do all you guys live to each other in Florida there?
Too damn close. Sorry.
Y'all are on the same little spot, right? Except for Ripa?
Within an hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all about an hour away, but we conveniently find this way to meet up on Saturday mornings and go flying. So every Saturday morning, I watch the sunrise out there at Wauchula with Florida Flight Sports, and there's like an amazing family out there, and I'm sure there's lots of amazing paramotor families all over this country. But Rick does a really great job, and guys like me we just want to keep coming out there and flying and be around the camaraderie of the group, and that's one of the things why I love this show, and David Wolf and everybody, is the camaraderie in this sport is just by far so spectacular compared to anything I've ever experienced in life.
Oh yeah. Just wait till they start drinking.
Well, we've had a few of those. So Rick invited me out to the hangar one night, and Rick has this, like, it's got to be perfectly legal flamethrower that throws flames like 50 feet across.
Excellent.
And then Ripa, I think Ripa brought the smokeless fire pit or something like that, right?
Yeah, the solo stove.
And
dude, you guys have smudge pots.
Smudge pots? What's that?
Maybe not in Florida. Okay, out in California, they had these smudge pots that they used to use to keep the trees from freezing in the orchards. I'm just thinking Florida had orchards, but you put diesel in them, and like these things, they're tall. They're like 6 feet tall. It looks almost like something you put roses in on the table, but they're like 6 feet tall. You fill them with diesel, and when you light them, fire shoots out the top, and they get just almost red hot. And you, like 30 feet away, you're kind of like, oh, that's a little close, and like so many people could stand around them. They had them out there at the Salton Sea. This is the first time I'd ever seen one, but they're illegal in California now because I guess emissions. You're just burning black diesel smoke into the environment, orchards worth of it. But they did away with those. But now I think you can get them. I didn't know where, but they sell them out there in California in a surplus lot somewhere, I suspect. But it's called smudge pots. I'd never come across one. Yeah, but man, those things were fun to stand around when it was cold at night.
Yeah, well, I've never heard of that, and I'll definitely Google that and look into it. But between Rick's flamethrower and Ripa's smokeless fire pit, well, and the bourbon, I admit, me and a couple others had a little bit of bourbon that night. But the next morning, Kyle, I wake up and I'm like, man, I'm walking funny. Like, what's going on here? And I look at the bottom of my brand new shoes were just totally melted out from the fire. I'm like, oh, great. But no, we have such a good time out here at Wauchula. And, anybody that ever wants to come down here, and I want to go to your Thanksgiving flying. If you're doing that, I'll bring the bayou and we can deep fry a turkey. But anybody that wants to come out and fly with us in Wauchula on a Saturday morning, more than welcome. It's a family out there, and we welcome it. Yeah. So travel, come down. You guys come from Wisconsin. They come from Illinois. Guys
So
are
what
coming from
town
all
is
over
the
the
Bad
place.
Apples in?
It's in
That's it.
Andersonville. So it's about 90 minutes south of Atlanta. It's in Andersonville, Georgia.
Oh, so it's in Georgia. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Hey, I hear real quick, 3 quick questions for you. You're a
Uh-huh.
pretty good instructor, yes?
I hope.
Okay. You're a pretty good friend, right? Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Is there anything you can do for Dave Ruff? Because I've seen him fly, and you've
No, he's hopeless.
okay. Well, you're honest. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, there you
Start
go.
with a haircut. Haircut would be good.
Is he looking kind of shaggy? He gets shaggy sometimes.
I think he's
I
supposed
haven't
to
seen him in a year, but I'm sure he is.
Well, Kyle, if you do come over to Bad Apples, man, we'd love to have you, and we can, we'll
I mean,
set
I've been
up
aiming at it. I've been aiming at it for a lot of years.
Yeah.
That's always been prime time, and I've just been stuck here. Students at the door. I can't just. Oh, sorry, guys, couldn't fly in. I mean, there's some people that do that, but I just like, nah, work while the work's here.
Well,
But if the work's not here, I'm ready to frolic about, right?
We'll print 400 copies of your craziest photo, and then we'll set up a Ready to Paramotor Live event over there and have you sign autographs.
Autographs.
There ain't no way I'm ever going to be printing pictures of myself, guys. Come on.
I'll tell you something.
Somebody else could do that.
Don't be surprised. About 3 years ago, and I'm nobody, and we're all nobody, but I'm really nobody. Ripman will be the first one to tell you that. And I'm standing over at Bad Apples, and I'm talking to Tom Kubat, who, for those of you who have not been in paramotoring 3 years, you wouldn't know who Tom Kubat is, but he had a great YouTube channel as well. And so I'm standing over talking to Tom. My son's standing off to the side, and someone comes up to me and says, "David Wolf, can I get your autograph?" I said, "Are you serious?" I'm nobody. So it was kind of weird. So if you come, just be prepared for that. I heard Mr. God is going to be at the fly-in this year again. I think he was there last year, right, Rick and Tony? Tucker was there last year. I heard he's going to be there again this year. So it attracts a lot of people. I know some of the folks aren't going to be able to make it, but a lot of people do. It's the biggest fly-in of the year. I don't know if it's the best fly-in, but because I really want to get out to Arizona for Flying Circus, maybe just different, but it is an amazing fly-in, and there's a lot of pilots, and I'll tell you, and Rick and Tony.
Have you been to it before?
To Bad Apples?
Me? No, the Flying
Circus.
No, I've never been there, and I want to get there.
Wow, it's a treat. It's a treat.
Know.
I went one time.
Next year's my year for that one. I think we're all
bring your guns, bring your paramotors.
Yes.
Bring your beer because it's a long drive to the store.
I hear
it's out in the middle of the desert. Y'all, it's in a spot in the desert where follow the directions he gives because the GPS takes you down other roads and they're all just trails out there. So I'm trying to find this Flying Circus on my way back from California one year. And I didn't realize there was written directions. So I'm just following where the map says to go. But I'm noticing all the people that live in that area, everybody has a no trespassing sign. Everybody has no trespassing. Every other house has a no trespassing sign and will shoot you if you trespass under it. And that's this is probably a dangerous part of the world is what I'm thinking. And so my GPS is telling me to go down one of these roads where it's got a no trespassing sign and a will shoot you sign. And so I'd it's got to be the way. And so I go and I come around the corner and there's a lady on the porch just with her finger pointed back out. As soon as I'm just okay. So I did a U-turn and got lost in the desert. And some guy came by on one of those ATVs side by side. And I was like, "Hey man, do you know where Motown is?" That's what they call the airport. He's like, "Yeah, it's this way. You got to go we're going down the high line, then the pipeline, then the road." He's like, "I'm driving fast. Keep up." Wow, he took off. And so I had to follow him real fast with my truck and my trailer down some trails. And he got me there. He got to a spot. He's like, "Go this way and you can't miss it." And so I found it. But that was an interesting place out there in that swallow cactus desert.
I know you've been to Endless Foot Drag. And, of course, you've been to that. What other fly-ins have you gone to?
Oh, I mean, I did Endless Foot Drag for many, many years in a row. That was the original place I learned to fly was, when Britton Shaw had it, and then he gave it to Michael Holliday, and Michael did it till he passed away.
Yeah.
And don't know who's doing it now, but I don't know. It's like anything, you go to the same ones over and over again, which is fine. I didn't mind it, but at some point you want to take your time and do other things with it, like when I went out to the desert and stuff. I've got more time now than I had then too.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But ultimately it was just a time situation. I mean, that fly-in was close. At first it was just a 5-hour drive. Then when it went to Kansas, it was more like 8 or 9 hours, but it's a pretty good haul. And then everything was kind of further away than that. So I don't know. I just went to that one a bunch, and I've been to Salton Sea, the Flying Circus. I've been to places where there have been fly-ins, but not during the fly-ins, like Northport, Michigan. I think that was the last place I crashed a paramotor, was Northport
Really?
in northern Michigan. Yeah, y'all gonna hear that story? That's a pretty good one.
Let's hear it.
So I'm gonna get up, and Aaron I was there. He can attest to this one. He was asleep. I woke him up. But I'm in Northport, and we're in Michigan, and we had been there for like a week, and we're just traveling around flying stuff. And so I'm going to get up 30 minutes before sunrise and do like that early session, right? And it's pretty cold. It's July, but it's Michigan. And so it's like 50s, 40s or 50s. I mean, it was like put on your jacket and your gloves and all your gear. Well, my glasses fogged up, like the breath had got them by the time I was ready to go. But this airport, if you don't know, it's just wide open. There's nothing to hit. And so I've got my glasses. I'm trying to look over them. And then I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to take off blind. Like there's nothing to hit. So why not? And so I hit the gas, wind comes up. I take off, and, my glasses are going to clear up any second. I'd actually taken off. I didn't jump in the seat or anything like that. But as I lifted off, I raised my feet, and then I felt kind of just like a little bump is what I felt. Boom, flew right into the ground so hard, like full power in my seat, hit the ground, and just slid, just out of my butt, just slid in like, okay, that was the ground. And then about that time, the glasses, clear out. And I'm like, well, okay. So I had to put on a new prop, killed a 3-blade prop, wrecked the net. But, 30 minutes later, I did my flight at sunrise. But that was my last crash. I guess I just flew into the ground blind. It was such an anomaly. I don't know what happened. Some kind of weird wind thing was going on off the lake there, but it dumped me right into the dirt. I don't even know how high I had climbed, but it pushed me right back down.
Wow.
Anyway, if I had my feet down, that wouldn't have happened. But I was just, let's roll the dice and lose, right? That's how it usually goes. But it was an honest crash. Just a little damage, no injuries.
Yeah.
Like, it was almost comical. But Aaron, to him, all he heard was wow. And he said it sounded like I just flew into a brick wall, right? Yeah, Aaron, there he is. I was there. He was sleeping. The first thing he heard was the whirring of a prop crash. And it was full power until it hit. And that was the only sound that broke the morning.
That's funny stuff, man. Well, David, I got a bourbon calling my name here. Let's give away another hat. And,
all right. Hey, listen, we're gonna wrap up here soon. Kyle, after we end the show, don't go anywhere. We'll get you all the information for Bad Apples. My gosh, I've been trying for so long to get you out to Bad Apples, man. If this is the year we finally can make it happen, let's make it happen. All right.
Right on, yeah.
All right, let's give me a second here. Gotta do this button. I gotta hit this button, and then we're gonna hit this button. Okay, so we're gonna go backwards. Oh boy, hold on. Just talk amongst yourself for a second. I gotta hit this. Hit this. Let's see if I can
give away.
Tony, come on. Let me hear a pressure.
Okay.
Pressure.
That's what the doctors say when they're hurting the shit out of you. Right? They're like, you're gonna feel some pressure. You're like, it hurts. That hurts so bad. And they're like, more pressure. I'm like, no. Hey, Peregringo. I've slept in his spare room before. No, wait, that's not. No, he's not the winner. I thought it was. Sorry, Gringo.
Green. I won't let Gringo.
That's CT Fly.
CT Fly.
You know
Congratulations.
Who's CT Fly?
Who's CT Fly? CT Fly. Comment. What's your first name in the comments?
I don't know. Peregringo got robbed then. Winner.
Yeah.
CT Fly.
Yeah, he owes me money, Gringo, so he doesn't win anything till he
Oh my God.
All right, let's wrap this puppy up. Kyle Oakley, thank you so much for being here, man. Can't
Oh yeah,
thank you
I
enough.
didn't have much else going on. I'm been turning wrenches for 9 hours today, so I'm done.
Let me
Did you have fun with us?
Oh yeah, I always enjoy hanging out.
for
All
those of
You
you
know,
that like to get
just the
Kyle.
fact that we can do this online is like,
Yeah.
it's high tech to me. We grew up in the '80s. We didn't have this.
We'll
You had to
do this
call one person at a time.
We'll have you on every couple of months. How's that sound?
Well, I got the app now, so here we are.
I will say this: if anybody else wants to have Kyle Oakley on their show, it's a bitch to get him on. Okay, first of all, he doesn't call you back, he doesn't return your text, and then he calls. He goes, "Yeah, I haven't updated my computer in like a year, so I can't even get this StreamYard, whatever thing you call this, working." So,
The big bird.
but he's here.
We got it sorted. We
figured it out. All right, Tony, Rick, Matt, thank you guys so much for being a part of this each and every week. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I hope I got as many comments out there. I'm sure there's plenty more, but thank you all for being here tonight. As I said, in 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about the bad apples flying. We're going to be talking about what we're going to be bringing to it and all that good stuff. Jerry Devers is going to be representing the Bad Apples Planning Committee, answering your questions, answering our questions, giving you all that little extra information you need. And then 2 weeks after that, we're going to be at the Bad Apples. It's already here. Can you believe it? And hopefully, please tell your friends. I don't care if you tell your mother to sign up on that Facebook page. We got to get to 1,000. We're at 415 right now. That's 41.5% of the way to our goal. I'm very good with math. And out of 1,000. So we got to get to 1,000, and hopefully by Bad Apples we can give that stinking motor away, because I'm carrying it around every day and it's getting pretty darn heavy. All right. Sounds great, guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Do we get another little preview of that song that I love so much?
Yes, we're going to do that on the outro. But thank you for asking. All right, guys. Have a good night. Kyle out. You want to do the Kyle out thing that you always do on your videos?
Much love, y'all.
Get ready, get ready. Get ready, get ready. Power, 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 power. Power, power. Pressure, 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 pressure. Now fly, 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 fly. It's time, yes, it's time. It's time for ready to paramotor live. Ready to paramotor live. Power. Power, power. Pressure, 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 pressure. Now fly, 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 fly. It's time, yes, it's time. It's time for ready to paramotor live. Ready to paramotor live. Ready to paramotor live. Ready, 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 ready to paramotor live. To paramotor live, paramotor live. Ready to paramotor live. To paramotor live, paramotor live. Paramotor live.
All right.